What have you learned from your audience feedback? Audience feedback is important because it allows us to know how a video or artist will be perceived. First, after we had pitched our idea of the genre and storyline, we had to share it with our class to get feedback. This was so that we could understand if our audience would understand with our idea, with our genre, because we had a genre which is nasheed, and but then it was rap at the same time, so it was basically two sorts of genre into one. So we had to make sure that we weren't gonna offend no one. Our ideas, it was varied. Like, we had literal meaning and we had a spiritual meaning. Our literal meaning was that our artist would be a soul, like it was about soldiers, and the spiritual meaning was that the soldier was looking for the right path. So we had to educate our audience on the purpose of a nasheed video and what we are trying to because we were doing a nasheed, our video was more of a religious based music video. So we asked people of different religions, as we wanted to find out how Islam would be perceived. So we asked other Muslims how they would look at a Muslim music video and how other religions would look at a video, what they would think. Second of all, we had to make decisions, so not only as a group but as a class and as a whole of media studies students. We had to talk about the portrayal of Islam and the singer. For example, should the singer be in the story? Should the artist be a part of the story, or should we show it as a narrative? So the singer is singing or rapping as it is in our music video, and should there be other actors acting to the lyrics? It was important that we had the right clothing, the right location, because as it was a religious video, so we had to sort of have like a mosque and other scenes as well, because our music is about soldiers, and not only soldiers as in soldiers that go to fight in a war, but this music, the lyrics talk about a soldier being a soldier in Islam, strong in mind, in body, not strong on streets or something like that. So we had different paths of soldiers, and by the end of our music video, the artist and the actor choose the right path, which is the path to Islam. We also, one issue that occurred was ethnicity of the actors, because we didn't want to offend no one, so we didn't want to stereotype no one. So what we decided was the three soldiers should be faceless. So most of the shots were from either from behind or from the side, somewhere where you can't see the face, so that way we are not offending no one, or we are not stereotyping any ethnicity, people from different ethnic backgrounds. The locations we chose was the churchyard, which is just outside our college, and the music studio, and at the end the mosque, and a few parts in between the music videos. We had in different scenes, we had the actors in a mosque and they were praying and reading the Quran. We chose the church because the artist, he was in normal clothing, he wasn't wearing any religious clothing, and we were at the church. We didn't have the idea to show that anyone could be at church and whatnot. It was because the location was sort of empty, so we chose that as a good location. The studio, we chose the studio. Secondly, it was because we wanted to show the artist recording his music, and the mosque, of course, because to show the Islamic root. Thirdly, we had to receive feedback for our edits. We had a first edit, and then we had a second edit. After we did our first edit, we had to show it to our class, to the media students, to see if they understood what our music video was trying to achieve. We realized that using the drama studio, it had bad lighting, so we chose to scrap that and we chose to choose a different location. That's when we chose the music studio instead. Second of all, we realized that in our first edit and in our first shooting, we had a lot of bad lip syncing. So we decided to reshoot and do better lip syncing in order to have a perfect music video. Thirdly, we changed the clothing because in our first edit, for example, the artist was wearing the religious clothing, which meant that it already symbolized that he had already chosen the path he wanted to take. So we had to change that, we had to scrap that, because we didn't want to show that he'd already chosen the path until he's been through the journey. Fourthly, we had to look at our printers and images, if we should have religious images or if we should have just normal images of the artist, etc. We decided that we should have religious images along with images with other soldiers, because our music video is about soldiers. So we had to make our audience understand that the soldiers, the word soldier has different meanings to it. For example, in Islam, a soldier is one who prays to his Lord, who believes in his Lord, who has a strong faith and who's strong in mind. But there are people out there who look at soldiers and they say the best soldiers are those who go to war and fight for their country. And there's also people who out there on the streets who are selling drugs, who are into crime. They think those people are soldiers. So we decided that in our music video and in our images, we'll have 3 different soldiers to show the 3 soldiers and show by the end of the music video which path is the right path. So it was difficult to research as not many people actually compose rap/nasheed music videos. Obviously the nasheed that we chose, which was by Muslim Bilal, even in his music video he didn't actually think the way we did. The way we decided to have 3 soldiers and then one merging into one path. Where in his music video he was in his religious clothing, wearing the thobe that we call, which is the long gown, and he was in the mosque praying to God, praying to Allah. Also, as a part of the unit, we also needed a magazine cover. We discussed ideas about if we needed images of artists or images of religious locations such as mosques. Our video was supposed to represent Islam, and one of our main... Yo, keep quiet for a couple of minutes, please. Start that again. One part of our unit was we needed a magazine cover. So we discussed ideas about if we needed images of the artist and images of mosques. One of our aim was to represent Islam and to steer away from star construction. But when we looked at research and asked audience, we found that it was necessary to include the artist in order to link back to the video. So we didn't want to have an artist to make him look as if he's like a really big star sort of thing. Our aim was to actually guide people to the path of Islam and obviously to the right path, and give them the actual meaning of soldiers, as the literal meaning of soldiers, like for example them being on streets or in war. We wanted to get rid of that and get them on the path of Islam and the right path. Thank you very much. My name is Shahin. I'll see you next time.